Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a summer intern here at ShopRite, and I'm going to show you today how to make a Brownie Chillwich. Now you may be thinking, what is a Brownie Chillwich? So basically what it is it's inspired by your classic ice cream sandwich, and it's a better for you brownie with a non-fat yogurt filling. Okay, so we're going to get right into making the yogurt filling. So for this, you're going to need 3/4 cup of non-fat vanilla yogurt. We're going to be using Bowl and Basket, which is a collection of thoughtfully crafted food and delicious ingredients. And now we're going to add in our Bowl and Basket unsweetened black cold brew. I love cold brew, I love coffee, and I drink this every morning. I swear by this one. And also, if you have children and you want to give them this, but you don't want to give them coffee, completely understand. You can go ahead and swap this out for coconut milk, or you can do strawberries as well, and it'll still taste amazing. Now we're gonna move on and add in our maple syrup. And who doesn't love 100% pure maple syrup? It's so sweet, and it's gonna add in the perfect amount to balance out with the unsweetened cold brew that we just added in. Let's go ahead and add in this. You're gonna need 2/3 tablespoons of this. You can find all of these ingredients right at your local ShopRite, which is amazing, and all of their products are actually so incredible. And this 100% pure maple syrup is honestly one of the showstoppers because it's so hard to find great maple syrup for breakfast, recipes, everything. So now we're gonna mix our filling all together. The smell coming out of this is actually amazing. I love the smell of coffee. And I actually grew up going to ShopRite. I'm a Jersey girl right from the shore, and I remember going with my mom, my older sister, sometimes my dad, but mostly my mom. And as a broke college student, I think ShopRite is actually an amazing option. They have great deals, great prices, especially buying their private label options. It makes the great prices that they have even better. It's such an affordable option for college students, really for anyone, and it makes shopping so easy. We're gonna go ahead and pour this yogurt mixture into our dish already lined with parchment paper. And then once this is all set, we're gonna put that right into the freezer and start on our brownies. And this is gonna sit in the freezer for around 2 hours, so it has time to freeze and harden. We're gonna take our cover and put that right on top and make sure that it stays covered the entire time it sits in the freezer to prevent any crystallizing or making it icy, to really keep the yogurt creamy. Okay, so I just went ahead and preheated my oven to 350 degrees. And now we're gonna move on and start by adding in 1 cup of our sunflower seed butter. So those who have nut allergies can also enjoy these brownies. I also heard that they have this in a dark chocolate flavor, and now I need to try it because this honestly is one of my favorite things. So that sounds delicious. Okay, so we're gonna go in and add in that cup. And as you can see, I kind of made a mess. It's okay if you make a mess. I mean, what's the fun about baking if you don't have a big mess to clean up afterwards? We're going to move on to adding in our coconut sugar. So we're gonna do 1/2 cup of this coconut sugar. This smells so good. I wish you could be here to smell this right now because I just want to eat this coconut sugar. You can go to ShopRite and buy this yourself and really be the real judge of it, but I'm gonna warn you, once you buy it, you're gonna be addicted. We're gonna add in our next ingredient, which is, again, I'm gonna bring it back, the Bowl and Basket 100% pure maple syrup. Just can't get enough, gotta keep adding more. It's so versatile, maple syrup in general, but especially the Bowl and Basket because it is so good. You can use it for breakfast, you can use it for baking. And we're just gonna do a 1/4 cup of this maple syrup. We're gonna move on to our eggs, which are also Bowl and Basket. And you're gonna need 2 large eggs for this recipe. Just gonna go ahead and crack those right in there. Look how cute this is. It's so tiny and cute. I love vanilla extract. I add it to almost everything because I feel like you can't go wrong when adding vanilla extract. It just makes everything 10 times better. I'm just gonna go ahead and add in 1 teaspoon of that. Sometimes I measure with my heart with vanilla extract. For this recipe, we're gonna measure exactly. You can't go wrong with adding a little more sometimes. So we're just gonna go ahead and give that a good mix. And let me just say, we're making these healthy brownies today because eating healthy and clean is really something that I think is so important and has become important to a lot of people recently. And with ShopRite's brands like Bowl and Basket and Wholesome Pantry, it just makes it so easy to eat clean because it makes all the items so affordable and gives everyone equal access to these items as well. So we're gonna go ahead and mix that. Also, who doesn't love a clean, sweet treat? Okay, so now we're gonna move on by adding in 1/3 of a cup of our unsweetened cocoa powder. Now this cocoa powder looks amazing. Just a tip, do not eat cocoa powder straight up. It looks great, looks like chocolate. It is not. It is unsweetened, bitter. I've made that mistake before, so I'm just giving you a tip in case you were thinking about it. Don't. And we're going to add in a teaspoon of our baking powder. I use the lid to level it off because baking is very precise. It's like a science, so that's always important. Another tip that I have is put the baking powder right over the cocoa powder and mix that a little bit first because that'll prevent the baking powder from giving your brownies that taste that baking powder has. And now we're gonna go ahead and mix that all together. Be careful because the powder will fly everywhere if you're not careful. Again, I might be speaking from personal experience. I grew up baking in the kitchen with my mom all the time. My mom's a big baker, big cook, so I was always in the kitchen with her. So that is also how I came up with this recipe here. So baking is really something that you can do with your family, you can do with your friends, or you can do by yourself just as a hobby. And baking is really something that you can do to show people that you care about them. You can bake for people and give it to them, or you can bake with the people you care about, and it can be a bonding experience. I love baking with my college friends, and I love baking for my college friends. So you can always do this to show someone else that you care about them, that you love them, or you can do it with other people to bond. Baking is really something that you can have fun with. Look at how beautiful and fudgy this batter is. The smell and like the aroma coming off of it right now, so good. Smells fudgy, looks so beautiful and fudgy, and I just want to eat this batter. Don't do that. Don't eat the batter. But I really want to. And look how cool this is. The packaging is resealable. And I know I said before baking is a science, it's very precise, but then I also mentioned with the vanilla extract, measuring with your heart. Here, since it's chocolate chips, we're gonna measure with our heart. We're gonna also add in our cinnamon. Need a lot, just a little. And that's good. So now we're gonna go ahead and mix that right up. The smell that the cinnamon adds to these brownies just made it 10 times better. And so we're gonna go ahead and fold that in. And if you're mixing and you're thinking, this needs more chocolate chips, I would back you up on that, and I would agree with you because I think this needs more chocolate chips. So again, we're gonna add in more chocolate chips because they're brownies. Yeah, that was measuring with our heart right there. Because how can you have brownies without having chocolate chips? The answer is you can't. Take our first baking dish. To make sure these are already lined with your parchment paper, we're gonna pour half our brownie batter into one. I've been baking for a while, so I can kind of eyeball it. I actually love brownies, one of my favorite desserts. So when I found out that I could make a brownie that was better for me and had all clean ingredients, sign me up. I was so down. And again, I love a good sweet treat. So I'm gonna move on and add, again, more semi-sweet chocolate chips to the top. If you want a little more sparing in the batter, go for it. Add more to the top. This gives you a second round to try again. I'm gonna add a little bit more of my coconut sugar to the top because this adds a little bit of a crunch and a crust to the top of the brownie. Don't feel like you have to, but this definitely is a baking tip that my mom taught me. We have our first one done. I'm just gonna cover that while we go ahead and fill our other one. We just took our brownies out of the oven as well as our filling right out of the freezer. As you can see, it does seem a little creamy. That's personally how I prefer mine, a little bit more on the creamy side. If you're looking for more of a frozen ice cream sort of dessert, you can leave it in the freezer for 2 hours and then it'll be nice and frozen for you. So first we started off by removing our parchment paper from one of our brownies and kept it on the other so that it's easier to assemble. I'm gonna try and do this as quickly as possible because I want to eat these so bad. I'm gonna move this on over here so it's a little easier. You can go ahead, scoop that right on. So as you can tell, the continuous theme throughout this video is making a mess. But as I said before, that's my favorite part of baking. You can't bake without making a mess. I just feel like it doesn't taste as good. Now we're gonna take our other brownie, and the parchment paper makes it 10 times easier. You're just gonna go ahead, flip that right over on top. Pull off your parchment paper. There you go. You're just gonna do 2 cuts across. 3 cuts down. Okay, so now that they are all assembled, we're gonna go ahead and plate them right over here. I cannot wait to try these. They look absolutely amazing. We went ahead and made 12, cut them bigger, cut them smaller, whatever you were feeling. These brownies are gluten-free, they're nut-free, so those with dietary restrictions, you can enjoy too. These are perfect for your next gathering at your house, dessert with your family, because it really makes this dessert accessible for all. Okay, now I can't always try this, so I'm just gonna go ahead. That is amazing. That is so good. You guys have to try this. The brownie, you cannot tell the difference. And the yogurt and the coffee pairs so nicely with the brownie. I love the creaminess of the yogurt. Again, you can put it in the freezer for 2 hours if you're looking for more of an ice cream texture. I personally like it 10 times better this way. But try it for yourself and see which one you prefer. For more great recipes just like this, make sure to like and follow ShopRite.